G'day, yes, we're all plugged in. What's that about today? We're going to talk about understanding Putin's relationship to Bibi Netanyahu and Israel, and then we can sort of try and understand what's going on in the Middle East at the moment. Quite potentially a dramatic giant fraud, possibly. I can't give you the truth, I'm just a guy, but I have some contacts. Russia, friends who speak fluent Russian, lived in Russia, and you've got to understand Putin. Where is Putin from? That's his mentor, Yuri Andropov, the king of the KGB. Their top spy became a Soviet leader at one stage for a short time. Well, Putin was his protege. Putin is a KGB agent first and foremost. You must understand Putin, where he came from in St. Petersburg, to understand what's going on, and you must understand his relationship to Israel and Bibi Netanyahu. Let me tell you straight off the bat that Russia is getting high technology given to them by Israel. That's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. Israel is stealing it via Operation Talpiot off the United States, using United States taxpayers' funding dollars, the Pentagon budget, $600 billion of research and development, and it is then handing it over to Russia. That is what it is doing. And Bibi and Putin are very close. You've got to understand that. The Russian Jews run the Israeli high technology sector. They're the worst of the worst. They're the most hateful against the Palestinians, and Putin couldn't give a flying damn about Islam. All right, it's just there. He deals with it. It's not like he wakes up in the morning and says, "I must destroy Islam." That's not the issue, but he doesn't like it. All right, he is without question a Russian nationalist first and foremost. First and foremost, he works for Russia. He does not work for the Jews. A lot of people are saying he's working for the Jews. It's convenience, nothing more. It's nothing more than convenience. He's doing deals. He is a hardcore Russian nationalist, okay, to the core. He's about rebuilding Russia, and Israel needs protection. It's a good cop, and of course Assad is about to be asked to leave. That's what's going to happen. And then there's Iran. There's going to be no war with North Korea, no war with China. It's all Fabian socialists. We're going to take your house. We're going to take your house. Terrorize, terrorize, terrorize. You're like, oh my God, World War Three. Oh my God, World War Three. Oh my God. And it's okay. We'll just have the front porch for now. So Assad will step down, maybe Iran will be dealt with, and you'll just go, whew, just avoided World War Three. And you've got the fear porn merchants, the experts like Alex Jones. Just that guy just has to go. Someone please assassinate Alex Jones. Sorry, I'm inside, but the guy is worse than just a crass opportunist and money hungry piece of garbage. He is just working for the opposition. So I mean, just I put up with him. I can't do it any longer. I just can't do it any longer. All right. I want you to listen to something. You all know who Larry Nichols is. Did a little interview with Larry Nichols. He's a CIA handler for the Clintons. I like Larry Nichols. He's just a hardcore. Tells you to your face, I'm coming to kill you on Wednesday. I like that. I like people like that. I don't like the ones that go, I really like you, man. Well, they're stabbing you in the back. You know, Nichols will just tell you he's coming. You've got to understand they're all mates with BB. All right, I was like you. I was hoping that somehow it was a bunch of nationalist Jews in America, and they've gone, look, man, we've got comfortable lives here. We need to deal with Israel. We need to deal with BB. Put him back in his box. And City of London, he's out of control. Okay, let's all settle down here. And there was going to be some return to some sort of semblance of non-chaos, something like that. So I was sort of, oh, I hope so. He's going to arrest all the pedophiles. He was saying all the right things. Forget it. He's totally compromised. Listen to what Larry Nichols has to
Jewish
say.
community. Um, it's just keeping me out of it completely rather than confuse the issue.
Well, you need to know I am a big supporter of Israel.
Yep.
All right?
That's okay. That's it.
And it's Ben Netanyahu's personal friend of mine. I've known him for years. Now, that doesn't enter into this in any way.
that
Benjamin Netanyahu's a personal friend of mine. Okay. Okay. Larry Nichols, handler for the Clintons. Benjamin Netanyahu's a personal friend of mine. Work it out. Please. You've got to read this book. I'm just trying to get some balance, that's all. I'd vote for Putin. Who wouldn't? You've got to read Anatoly Golitsyn, The New Lies for Old. New Lies for Old. Ex-KGB officer warns how communist deception threatens survival of the West. Basically, he says they're going to collapse the Soviet Union, and then it's going to come back at you in a new form. Some are arguing it's decided it's religious now. There is an argument for that, but I do believe that Putin is at least a semi-official believer. I do believe that, and he's a Russian nationalist. He's not a hardcore communist. He just wants a powerful Russia. Na, 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 na. And that's what they're doing. Patriarch Krilly, patriarch of the Orthodox Church. You see him there. He's got vodka factories. He's got tobacco. It's outrageous. Sorry. And he's an ex-KGB agent. Now I can give you a little bit of gossip. I knew some people heavily into the Russian Orthodox Church. They were in the US on the East Coast, I believed. Now, there was a thing called the ROKOR, which is the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia. And when the Soviets came in, they had a it was huge. It was the true Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia. When Stalin realized he couldn't crush the church, he decided to put it under state control. And when you're a KGB officer, you could be a KGB officer or a KGB officer in the church or a KGB officer in wherever. Okay? And it was so. Kryly was a KGB officer. Now, the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia demanded that he repent and publicly rebuke himself and repent for being part of the KGB apparatus. He refused to do it. He refused to repent. So what happened was, as the Russian Orthodox Church, after the alleged collapse of communism and the Soviet Union, said, we want to now merge with the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia, and we're all friends now, Soviet Union's over, we're all making up, which makes sense. Well, a big bunch of the bishops outside Russia, in the Russian Orthodox Church outside Russia, the bishops and abbots refused to have any part until Kryly apologized publicly for being a KGB officer. So you know what they did? And I've seen the film footage. It's been taken down. I saw the film footage. They were sending around in black limousines, big thugs, grabbing the abbots and the bishops and throwing them into mental institutions. I've seen video footage of it. On US soil, on the East Coast. This is kidnapping. I mean, this is a serious crime. I was on video. It was on freaking YouTube. And they were dragging the old bishops and abbots out of their monasteries and putting them in mental institutions. You can't make this shit up. On US soil. No one stopped it. There's a bit of gossip for you. You've got to understand the Russian Orthodox Church. You've got to watch Daniel Hopsicker. Now, Daniel Hopsicker's Barry and the Boys, brilliant stuff on US drug dealing. He exposed so much. Now, he's a Zionist. He loves Israel, apparently. But he's done some great work on exposing Trump's links with these Russian oligarchs, man, with Russian Jewish organized crime. Man, deep in bed. Daniel Hopsicker. You know, Steve Bannon's just a low-life crim. He's hanging around with some of the lowest-life Miami Russian Jewish mob criminal thugs on freaking earth. You can't escape this, man. Go and read Daniel Hopsicker's account years. Go and check it out. Make up your own mind. You've got to look at Golitsyn. Are you ready? Have a read. You've got to read Anatoly Golitsyn, New Lies for Old. Read this. The above means that the so-called war on terror is an operation being carried out by the Marxist co-opted governments of the West in alliance with the USSR and other communist nations. The purpose being, destroy the prominence of the West in the eyes of the world, where the West is seen, 1, invading nations without cause, 2, causing chaos around the globe, and 3, killing over 1 million civilians and boasting of torture. 2, close off non-Russian supplies of oil for export, thereby increasing the price of oil, the higher price allowing oil exporting Russia to maintain economic stability while she modernizes and increases her military forces. He should add into that also steals US high technology via Israel and Bibi Netanyahu and Operation Telpia. That's so important. I'm the only one talking about this. Literally, I've looked all online. No one's talking about it. Please make it a big issue. Get the big players to start talking about this instead of Trump. 3, destroy the United States Armed Forces via the never-ending war on terror, the ultimate purpose of the aforementioned. 2, bring about the demise of the United States in the world, opening up a political void to be filled by a new pan-national entity composed of Europe and Russia, replacing the European Union, a union from the Atlantic to the Vladivostok, which will 5, see the end of NATO. How interesting. I always wondered why Iran was so cocky. Have they done a deal with Iran? It can have the south. It can have the southern regions there. Watch out. The Arab Muslim world. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. I don't believe Putin is your friend. And I'm not saying that even Putin is a friend of the Jewish oligarchs either. Some people are arguing this. There's an argument for it. I think he's just a hardcore Russian nationalist and he wants to see the rebooting of the Russian Empire. Fair enough. There is also prophecy within the Russian Orthodox Church that Russia will save Christianity. There is talk about this. This is stuff you probably haven't heard about. New Lies for Old, Anatoly Golitsyn. There's also an interesting book, Islam and Communism. These are all books. Go and read them. From 1960. Islam and Communism, a conference sponsored by the Institute for the Study of USSR, Carnegie Institute. Go and have a read. Go and have a read. I also urge you, I don't know sometimes the difference between British intelligence and Russian intelligence. They almost seem one and the same. You got to know your history, the Venona. You got to know your history, the Silver Master spy groups. This Marxist infiltration, man, it is everywhere. You look into an old 20. I was a communist in my 20s. I had my French, analysis of Marxist doctrine, man. I used to carry my books around, thinking I was really clever. Truly. Then you grow up. I'm still a quasi-Catholic socialist in some ways. I'm just saying, man. We just look. I'm a libertarian as well. It's just look after each other. Rich, yeah, I like alpha males and alpha females. Want to create businesses? Go for it. Let's work together, workers and business people. But I'm anti-corporation 100%, and I believe that after your first 60 billion, where does it end? Come on, man. You look after people. You build people up. Everyone should have a house. Everyone should have clean water. I encourage small, medium-sized businesses. That's my philosophy, man. And we can all live together. I urge you to watch my favourite movie, second only to The English Patient, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the John le Carre novel. Remember my previous video where we talked about the only way to tell the truth in the national security state is through fiction? That's where I get most of my info from, believe it or not. I get it off the Wall Street Journal, Jane's Defence Weekly and Wired Magazine. Please watch Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. And I love Gary Oldman, my favourite actor of all time.
There is a mole right at the top of British intelligence. He's been there for years.
For 25 years, we've been the only thing standing between Moscow and the Third World War.
I'm retired. You're outside the family. You're well placed to look into this for us now.
I'll do my utmost.
I know that it is one of these men. All I want from you is one code name. Tinker. Tailor. Soldier. Spy.
I need you to do something.
Going to have to send you up into the lion's den. If you're caught,
What the hell are you doing up here?
Can't mention me.
I know who you are. I have something to trade. Something big.
She told me a secret.
the mother of all secrets.
She had information concerning a double agent.
You have to assume they're watching you.
Things aren't always what they seem.
It's become so ugly.
We're not so very different, you and I. We're both looking for the weaknesses in one another.
Watch that movie. John le Carre, what a book. John le Carre, a spy, of course. The only way to tell the truth is through fiction. He's telling you it's all based on real events. Real people. Tinker, tailor, soldier, spy. Watch it. Trust nobody. It's fighting. British intelligence. Listen, British intelligence now working with Al Jazeera. How's this? Have you seen what Al Jazeera's done now? I haven't watched the whole thing. But, where is it? I only just downloaded it. I haven't watched it. Oh God, where are you? Spy merchants. It's talking about all the private spying agencies.
Inside the secret world of the surveillance industry.
This is their intercept unit.
Intercept the communication of your targets, send fake short messages.
And that's the worry, man, is these little Israeli private groups, not the NSA, it's these private Russian Jewish mobsters, Israelis trained under Operation Talpiot.
Our undercover reporter exposes the spy merchants willing to sell powerful eavesdropping equipment to anyone willing to pay.
We don't know who is the end user, and we don't care. We have done it before. can cost up to 20 million euros.
Europe's most advanced producers of spyware explain how they circumvent international sanctions with ease.
First, we are okay with Iran. Of course, it's subject to export restriction, but this is something that we can manage.
We hear of the damage that surveillance technology can do to democracy.
E quindi sostanzialmente avevano bisogno di un sistema quanto piuttosto i dissidenti politici.
And we expose the methods used to cover their tracks.
You can sell to your company, no
Any brand, no any brand.
We'll wipe everywhere, wipe everything.
There will be no logo, even use a fake email account.
How many other Italians has exported these in, let me say, deep grade countries? Lots.
These are the deals putting our privacy at risk.
I find it unacceptable. I would like to see transparency in this very, very dark and dangerous market.
Now, I haven't even watched it yet. Thank you, Nate, for the heads up, but I certainly hope they're going to mention Israel. We hope. I haven't even watched it, but you'll get the gist. There's these small Israeli companies, Operation Talpiot, trained up in the Israeli Defense Force, intelligence operations. These are the people running around with their little suitcases following you. They're tracking dissidents, you, Israelis. Yeah, I might throw up an Italian, yeah, I know who it is. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. You've got to just remember Yuri Andropov, KGB Russian Orthodox Church. Putin is looking out for Putin. Now I want to branch off into something a little bit esoteric. What's the final end game? The final end game. Look, they're all fighting amongst each other. The end game is a stable Middle East full of compromises. The Antichrist that speaks of biblically is not a man, it is a quantum supercomputer. That is the end game. Transhumanism, Ray Kurzweil. Total information domination control via artificial intelligence is the end game. I'm also going to throw in Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugs. You're going to go, what the hell is Ayn Rand, a Jewess, Russian Jewess, who said greed is good, selfishness is good, absolute extremist, and some of his writing's not bad, but it's an extremist writing. And all of Silicon Valley, Silicon Wadi, they all read Ayn Rand. They all named their kids after characters in her book. Atlas Shrugged. Edward Snowden reads it. One man can change the world. Donald Trump. It's like the Killer Mockingbird, man. It's like the new trigger for the mind control deviates. Ayn Rand. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about pi. We're going to get a bit esoteric here. Pi is the forerunner to the Matrix. Understand the world via mathematics.
(12:45). Restate my assumptions. 1. Mathematics is the language of nature. 2. Everything around us can be represented and understood through numbers. 3. If you graph the numbers of any system, patterns emerge. Therefore, there are patterns everywhere in nature.
You ever hear of Kabbalah? Jewish mysticism.
Insomnia haunts him and he twists and turns in his bed.
Maybe that pattern is like the pattern in the stock market. The Torah. This 216 number.
This is insanity, Max.
Or maybe it's genius. I have to get that number.
Hold on, you have to slow down. You're losing it.
You only gave us part of the code. Now give us the rest of the code so we can set it right.
You are only a vessel from our God. You are carrying a delivery that was meant for us.
There will be no order, only chaos.
Indeed. Indeed. Remember the movie A Beautiful Mind? Remember that movie? He won a Nobel Prize for predicting the future, basically. He was trying to understand social networks. That's who Russell Crowe plays.
45. Restate.
Oh, look, that's in there.
1. Not 3. If you graph...
He used the
Anyway, let's move right along. Here they're going to talk about
The
patents.
ancient Japanese considered the go board to be a microcosm of the universe. Although, when it is empty, it
This
appears
is why they
to
want
be
Facebook,
simple and
Google,
ordered.
analytics.
The possibilities of gameplay are endless. They say no two Go games have ever been alike, just like snowflakes. So, the Go board actually represents an extremely complex and chaotic universe. And that is the truth of our world, Max. It can't be easily summed up with math. There is no simple pattern.
But as a Go game progresses, the possibilities become smaller and smaller. The board does take on order. Soon all the moves are predictable.
So
maybe...
So understand what he's saying. This is what they're doing. All the moves are predictable. And that's what they're doing with the quantum AI supercomputer, Facebook, Google Analytics, your data, fiber optic cables to every home. They want you in real time. Fuck, they're going to put something in your fucking damn head. Maybe. Keep watching.
Even though we're not sophisticated enough to be aware of it, there is a pattern, an order, underlying every Go game. Maybe that pattern is like the pattern in the stock market. The Torah, this 216 number.
This is insanity, Max.
Or maybe it's genius. I have to get that number.
Hold on, you have to slow down. You're losing it. You have to take a breath. I mean, listen to yourself. You're connecting a computer bug I had with a computer bug you might have had and some religious hogwash. If you want to find the number 216 in the world, you will be able to find it everywhere. 216 steps from your street corner to your front door. 216 seconds you spend riding on the elevator. When your mind becomes obsessed with anything, you will filter everything else out and find that thing everywhere. 320, 450, 22, whatever. You've chosen 216 and you will find it everywhere in nature. But Max, as soon as you discard scientific rigor, you're no longer a mathematician. You're a numerologist.
Or a mystic. Oh, get and watch good old pie. Math is everywhere. Math is everywhere. It goes into Kabbalah. This is all linked, I promise you. All the theatre you're seeing at the moment, they're trying to scare you to death. I'll tell you what the end game is. It's all agreed. City of London, Israel and Russia are intimately working together, in my opinion. A lot of stuff I haven't said because I'm trying to be very positive and believe. I don't believe anymore. I'm finished with them. Trump, Putin, everybody. I'm finished with them. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm hoping that the Arab Muslim world wakes up. I'm hoping that Ahmadinejad gets back into power and the barefoot crowd. I believe in Ahmadinejad to a point. That's what I'm hoping. Watch this.
Hey, Max. Lenny Meyer. Sorry, put it out. So, what do you do?
I work with computers, math.
Math? What kind of math?
Number theory. Research mostly.
I work with numbers myself. I mean, not traditional. I work with the Torah. Amazing! You know, Hebrew's all math. It's all numbers. You know that? Here, look. The ancient Jews used Hebrew as their numerical system. Eh? Each letter's a number. Like the Hebrew A, Aleph, it's 1. B, Bet, it's 2. You understand? But look at this. The numbers are interrelated. Like, take the Hebrew word for father. Av, Aleph, Bet. 1, 2 equals 3. All right? Hebrew word for mother, Aim, Aleph, Mem. 1, 40 equals 41. Sum of 3 and 41, 44. All right? Now, Hebrew word for child. All right? Mother, father, child. Yelad. That's 10, 30, and 4. 44. Torah is just a long string of numbers. Some say that it's a code sent to us from God.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's just good stuff.
It is
Check
very
this out,
interesting,
okay?
isn't it?
The word for the Garden of Eden, Kedem. Numerical translation, 144. Now the value of tree of knowledge, all right, in the garden, right? Eitz HaChaim, 233. 144, 233. And you can take those numbers. So the,
You know, like the Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci.
Fibonacci is an Italian mathematician in the 13th century. If you divide 144 into 233, the result approaches theta.
Theta?
Theta. The Greek symbol for golden ratio, golden spiral.
Wow. I never saw that before. That's like that series you find in nature? Like the face of a sunflower?
Where are the spirals?
You see this math everywhere.
There's math everywhere. AI supercomputer, quantum supercomputer, Israel, Operation Telpiot. Make the documentary. Make the documentary. Be the first. Ayn Rand. Seriously, I don't have the time or energy. Ayn Rand. Where's the bit where he's with the rabbi in the synagogue? Good movie, Pie. They're telling you the only way to tell the truth in the national security state is through fiction. So let's round it all back. You've got Russia and Israel. Remember, these Jews are Slavic Jews. There's no Jewish culture for mathematics and music and literature. Okay? There's none. That's all Russian, Slavic, Polish. There are no PhDs from Morocco, Jewish Moroccans, Jewish Yemenis, Jewish Iraqis. Alright? They don't do math. Russian Jews do math. Polish Jews do math. Alright? That's all Slavic culture. It's nothing to do with Jews. It's Slavic culture. And Bibi and Putin are working together. They really are. And the quantum supercomputer, the AI quantum supercomputer, the Antichrist, you got to watch Human 2. Let's go to Human 2.0. I've got the full documentary. I don't know if they have it, but if you want to tie it up a little bit, watch this reporting Zionist terrorists to authorities. Watch that video where I ring up the terrorist hotline. I put it all in there, basically. Reporting Zionist terrorists, how you do it. Watch it. Watch Leaderless Resistance, Understanding Network-Centric Warfare. Watch it. All right. Okay, I'm going to wind it up. Something very strange going on. Very strange. So there you go. Jewish Kabbalah, number theory. Watch, Human 2.0. Watch this documentary. I've got the full one. They always take it down. I will put the full documentary up. You've got to watch it. Where's the full documentary, damn it? Or at least well, see that they've hidden it all, man. It's all been... Can't even get it. I'm going to do another video about that later, and I've got the full documentary. I recorded that off the TV. You can't find it anyway. I'd watch 3 documentaries if you want to make the ultimate video about what's going on and the Antichrist being a quantum supercomputer. Transhumanist, Ray Kurzweil, all that stuff. That's the key. That is the key. It goes beyond this war theater, all this bullshit. They're trying to scare the bejesus out of you. It is Human 2.0. Watch these 3 documentary series. Human 2.0. Number 1, Human 2.0. Number 2, All Watched Over by Machines of Loving Grace. It's a long one. I love that documentary maker. He's British. He's brilliant. He also did The Politics of Fear. Brilliant documentary. I'll repeat it for you. All Watched Over by Machines of Loving Grace. Let's see if we can pop it up. All Watched Over by Machines of Loving Grace. Adam Curtis. 1 of 3, Love and Power. So they've got it up there. They do have it up here. It wasn't up before. Wow. Have they got part 3? That's the one I want. Part 3. 1 of 3? Damn, I bet you I've got 1 and 2, but not number 3. This is into the second episode. You've got to watch this series. It's going to talk about Ayn Rand. And you think, what the hell is Ayn Rand? That Jewess who wrote Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead. What the hell's that got to do with it? Well, watch the series. Watch the start. I love this guy. I love his music. Just love it.
Novel called The Fountain.
B957. Places, everybody. This is a take. Where is that? Camera!
Then DeMille gave her a screenplay to write, called The Skyscraper. Rand hated the characters and the plot, but the idea was going to make her famous. She started to write her own stories, and in 1943 she published a novel called The Fountainhead. Its hero is an architect called Howard
Sorry,
York.
this is ridiculous. They've chopped it, they've sped up the thing. I don't know what they're trying to do, but that is completely wrecked. Let's see if we can get the intro. You've got to watch this series. Sorry, bear with me. Bear with me. Got to watch it. Well, that wasn't particularly good either. Sorry about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it apart in my next video. So, watch AI. Now, just let me clarify something very quickly. How is this all linked? They're going to machines, man, in real time. They're predicting the future with these things. In 2010, they already had a machine that could mimic the human brain, size of a football field. They're actually doing synapses and actually mimicking the synapse firing. It's incredible. The research has been done. They've probably already got it. When you understand that a quantum supercomputer is 1 trillion times more powerful, the size of a laptop, and 1 trillion times more powerful than the biggest supercomputers today. 1 trillion. Can you comprehend that computing power? And then you link it in with databases from all over the world. Facebook, Google. Who's running it all? Who's raised Kurzweil? They're all Jews. They all identify as Jewish. And when you watched over by machines of loving grace, they will actually explain to you, Ayn Rand, all these Randians, includes Trump, everyone, Edward Snowden, the whole of Silicon Valley's in love with this book. Zuckerberg, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, it's crazy. But they actually show, if you let people go, remove all boundaries, and you'll understand the matrix at the end where he says, we're going to remove all boundaries of things and anything is possible. They want to remove nation-state boundaries and just let the free flow of information, just let people do whatever they want. And they believe from this will come this harmonious balance. It's crazy, but they believe it. And they've actually done experiments that show, and you'll see it in All Watched Over by Machines of Love and Grace, whereby they let people try to play this game. And even though they're not working together by some harmonious balance, they actually are able to play this game. It's called participation mystique. And the belief is if you just let people roam free, complete freedom, a harmonious balance. And you need to understand this is the ideology that's driving this stuff. And you'll begin to understand how the things you're seeing now, like World War III, it's all theatre. It's all control theatre. All of it. All of it. And if you understand sociology, when you do first 6 months of sociology, which I did for my nursing degree, you'll learn three main theorists about how the world works. It will be Marx, that it's all class war and money and power. The next one is Max Weber. They're all Germans, German Jews, some of them. Max Weber, which is, it's not about class or power and that, it's actually about you buy it because she's got big titties. The woman at the store, you're motivated by different things, selfishness, so on and so forth. The third theorist is Emile Durkheim, and that theorist is, if you attain self-actualization, you will find your place in the world, and then you will the world will just be balanced. You'll just have your little place. When you understand this theorist, and this is the ultimate documentary, someone's got to do it, 3 1-hour, it'll take 3 1-hour sessions. When you can link all this together, I'm going to help you do it. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Let me try and round out this fairly obscure dot connecting here. You cannot trust Vladimir Putin only because he's not working for the Jews, he's working for Russia. That's what he's doing. He's got Trump by the balls because BB's got Trump by the balls. He really has. The Russian Jewish mobsters all through Miami. I mean, who owns the Trump Towers, those things in Miami, man? They're Israeli. It's an Israeli Jewish family and with strong links to Israeli military intelligence. Let's stop the fantasy about Trump now. Stop it. Stop. He's pedophile, right? Jeffrey Epstein has him by the balls. And I'm so far the only one saying, and I hope you'll all pick it up, BB and Putin are like this. I'm telling you, 100%. And I don't believe it's a marriage of convenience, nothing more. But that US high technology is being funneled via BB back up into Russia. So there are people in the CIA who are pissed. Trump is hanging with mobsters, Russian Jewish mobsters, people. There's a problem. I'll do more tomorrow.